Hey everybody, I just got this from AliExpress earlier in the week and I'd like to talk about it and share my thoughts on it. It's doesn't really have a name, it's just called a PEI slider, which to my delight, not delight, but I was pleasantly surprised that PEI is the same thing as Ultem, because I was thinking, well, I've got if you watched my last video, I reviewed this PC or polycarbonate piece, and I'm dabbling into plastics a little bit, namely because they're cheap and available. And then this is PEI, and I thought, well, I need to get myself an Ultem, yet an Ultem piece, a third piece of Ultem to try out. But turns out this is Ultem. So yeah, this is a nice find. It came from a store, old friend toy store, where I paid way too much, but I paid for it because they're the only ones that had it when it came out, and I saw it, and I have this thing for 3-level sliders, and I had the funds for it, so I went ahead and bought it. But I was really disappointed to find out, no more than a week later, that it was Marcia Linda had it for almost half the price. So yeah, avoid old friend toy store. He's not your old friend. Anyhow, I am happy with it. I wanted to say some things about it as quickly as I could. What turned me on to this was a version that came out before this, and it was a version that had metal on both sides, but it was also a really weird, it's kind of a fictional product. You wouldn't call it a copy, but they were like falsely using the Lauti name and the 24 Cosmo name as a collaboration almost. So here's a picture of what that looked like real quickly. So you see it's just like this, but with metal pieces on both sides. And then this came out, and that turned me on because there's no branding on it and everything, and it was much less expensive. So I picked it up, and I'm really happy with it. But that got me thinking, that picture, this is awfully similar in size and shape to the Y80C 24 Cosmo Pig Nose slider. And I just recently got this thing, which is a sort of a generic ball slider, but it was, the seller called it the Tang Grass slider, also very much the same size. And I tried it out, and these all fit perfectly well together. So it's interesting. It's really interesting. It makes you wonder, what's going on, because this is the only legitimate maker-made version that I have here out of the 3, and I'm about to show you a photo with at least 2 more models. I can't remember if it's 2 or more, 3 models. There's a brass version of this that has samurais on it, and that's identical, so it will work with this. And then there was another one, I think, I can't remember what it was exactly right now, but I'm going to flash that picture up now, and you'll see there were 6. All 6 of these models that you're about to see are compatible with each other and interchangeable. Check it out. So isn't that interesting? Now, just to cover it quickly, I'll keep this one still has the post in it. I don't have the balls in it right now, but I do have the post in it. So rather than try to show you how it works with this one, we'll put this aside. When we start to take this one apart, we'll pull this one back out, and I'll show you how these fit together so nicely. But when this one arrived, it came with some regular white plastic balls, and I pulled them out because it also came with a set of 8. I believe these are silicone nitride. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's what they are when they look like this dark colored ceramic almost. And they're prettier and they're smoother. They do run a lot smoother than the plastic ones. And I prefer, it also came with, strangely enough, it came with stainless steel balls. I say that strangely enough because these both came from the same company. If you notice, I did a review on this the other day. I'm delving into plastics, or at least trying out a few plastic pieces, and I did that review the other day, and it came that all this came with were extra balls, and they both came from a store that used this kind of branding. I don't know who Kuyu is, but this came with all kinds of extra balls. Not only did it have the white balls in it when it came with 8 silicone nitride, and then we have plenty of what appear to be either stainless steel or steel balls, and then a whole array of magnets. That came with that. This came with extra balls. So, interesting. I put the black nitride balls in, and that seems to work the best. Let's go ahead and play around with this a little bit now. We'll get rid of some balls. Actually, I'll just try to keep things together. This is not the first time I've done this video today. It's so much fun doing stuff without a script. By itself, that's fun. And you make it quiet or loud. Now, while we have the balls in, let's get this back in the picture here. I've taken the balls out of it already. Yeah, I'm going to have to, let's do this. Let's find out which one of these fits on here. Okay, that's the opposing magnet. So that one's good, all right? Now this, we'll just dump these out. Put these in place. And this should now fit right on there. Put that off to the side. Now we have an interesting hybrid. And boy, does that ever feel different. Feels a little floppy. Like there might be a mismatch in the magnet strengths. But these are compatible and interchangeable, which makes it interesting to me. Yeah, it makes you wonder what's going on. Who's making these? Were these a run-up by YEDC or by Cosmo 42 Cosmo? Were these, a build-up or prototypes getting, their manufacturing processes smoothed out before they start to make the ones they really want to make? I don't know. Or is it just somebody copying a popular size? Because, if you're going to make a copy, you may as well try to make it as close to the original as possible. But it's unusual when you have that many pieces that work so well together. Okay, assuming I haven't screwed up the video too much yet, let's do a final round of comparisons and measurements. So I do have the only other ball slider I have that's a 3-level is this, and I forget what it was called, the Biscuit. It's called the Biscuit, and it's by Orange Clown or Clown Orange, a strange name. And it's got super strong magnets in it, but it's only, one click either direction. Size-wise, if you happen to have one of these, let's compare it. So, I like to always pull out the Mackie CP3 because a lot of people seem to have one of these. A little bit shorter. So it's a little bit thicker than stuff you're used to carrying. Now here would be a 3-level free-floating slider, and this is the Tactile from Fidget Things. Quite lengthily, a bit longer. But thickness-wise, it's about the same. Height-wise, it's about the same. Width, it's a little bit shorter, you can see there. But measurements, I see 25 millimeters, 45 millimeters by 13 millimeters. That is about it. We can do weight yet. About 28 grams. Let's compare that to the other plastic one. 24 grams. Well, they're both practically non-existent when they're in your pocket. So that's my thoughts on that. I think it's really interesting that it matches up with these other sliders. It's fun to do that, to switch them around. And, I suppose you could always switch around these. If you didn't have this, you could always switch these parts around too if you wanted to. Keeping in mind the pin would have to come out of that one. But I think that's it. If you have any questions, let me know, and I'll be happy to try and answer them as soon as I can. Thanks for watching. Bye.